Alright, today we're going to be learning about the Piranha P70 series iron worker. When working on the Piranha, you need standard shop safety equipment, such as jeans, closed-toed shoes, and safety glasses. On the Piranha P70 iron worker, you will see that the yellow painted areas mean caution. One of the many functions of the Piranha is the hydraulic punch. With this, we're going to be using a 3/4 inch punch with a 25-30 seconds die. When setting up the punch, you must first get your upper mechanism and set your punch in correctly. First get it hand tight, then use the wrench provided to tighten it up more. You'll want to move your punch mechanism onto the top of the rail system on the Piranha, then using your Allen key to tighten it up. Always make sure you have a snug fit. Then, you want to get the bottom portion for your die. When setting up the die system, place the lower between the two studs. Place your die inside the lower and make sure it is a snug fit. Then, tighten down the nuts on the studs until they are close to being snug. That way you can make adjustments later. We are first going to take a look at the control box for the Piranha. Here we can see the green on and red off buttons for the Piranha. We can see the foot pedal toggle switch right here. On the back side of the control box, we can see the adjuster switch for the front or back boxes to allow power to either box. On top, we have our toggle switch, and between the Piranha itself and the control unit, we see our limit switches, which can be set by lowering and raising each other. When using the hydraulic punch, first you want to make sure that your punch and die are aligned correctly. This can be done by slowly moving the punch down to the die, making sure that you have clearance all around the punch between the die. If any adjustments need to be made, you should be able to move your die around accordingly. And then, once it is all perfect, you need to tighten down the nuts for the die. When using the hydraulic punch, you want to first make sure your machine is on, then switch it over to the foot pedal control. When doing that, you want to make sure your limit switches are set just to go far enough down into the punch and then to rise back up. So, now it's for punching the metal. We're using a 3/4 inch punch, making sure that our material is smaller than the punch and die being used. Place your material inside of the punch and die and use your foot pedal to lower it down. Punch the hole through your metal and the job is complete. The hydraulic punch can be used for many applications. It is a faster alternative than drilling holes. When taking apart the hydraulic punch, you need to loosen up the Allen key on top. Then you can take off your upper. Then it is a reversing of the process. You take your wrench and simply remove the punch from the upper. Always making sure to store the punch and die as a set. Remove the die from the molding and place it back here in the toolbox.
Now we're going to talk about the hydraulic shear operation of this Piranha. The hydraulic shear is used to cut long pieces of mild steel or any type of steel into small coupons in order to weld up T's and joints for practice. This here part is used to set thickness for when cutting coupons. So say your coupons are 5/8 to 1 inch plate, you'd set it to this here setting. So you pull out, slide it to the hole, and get it in. So now that it's set to that, you can properly cut 5/8 to 1 inch plate here on the. Okay, so now we're gonna put our material in, and there's a little piece of metal here to guide our metal so it goes in straight, so you'll have a 90-degree cut on the end of your material. So we're gonna go around back here so I can show you how to set up. So now that we're around back, we're gonna put on our safety glasses. And always when you're working on a machine this close, especially when it's a hydraulic machine, you wanna make sure that your machine's off and can't be turned on, because I don't wanna lose a finger. So first we're gonna set up our stop to cut our piece to 6 inches. So we're gonna go ahead and loosen this until this whole piece will move. And then we're gonna get our handy dandy tape measure and measure in from the tooth 6 inches. And I'm gonna move my material there. And then just push in our stop till it hits barely on your stock, and then go ahead and tighten this back up. Now that it's tight and you have your stock, you can now cut your piece accurately to 6 inches repeatedly for however many pieces you need. So now we're gonna grab our material, slide it against our fence here all the way until we hit our stop. Now that we've hit our stop, we're gonna make sure our foot pedal is on. We're gonna go ahead and turn on the machine. Make sure it's lined up. Make sure your fingers are out of the way and it can cut without hurting you. And then you're gonna go ahead and press down your foot pedal and it's gonna cut. Now you can repeat this as many times as you need, but for demonstration purposes and for the sake of saving material, we're only gonna cut a few.
Using the angle iron shear, you must first make sure that you're correctly set up just as if you were using plate. It also has your reference and specifications on that. Moving on, we get our piece of angle iron, we make sure our limit switches are already preset, and we are using the foot pedal in this application. So we turn the machine on, we place our material through at our specified length on the back side, and we go ahead and shear just as if we were using plate. When adjusting for the angle iron shear, you must first release this arm here, and then you can push it freely to your desired spot, making sure that it lines up with the angle iron shear. Then tighten it back down, and now it is at your specified length.
All right, I'm here, don't worry. Now we're at the final part of the piranha, which is a cropper. In order to use the cropper, you're gonna need to send over from that controller to the controller located around back. I did that before starting the video, so if I press on, it'll turn on right now. When using the cropper, you wanna pull up the yellow guard, the caution guard, so you can properly get inside and use the cropper. Be careful, make sure when you're using the cropper that nobody is either trying to use the punch or the shear so that nobody gets hurt. So now that I have the guard up, I can go ahead and turn it on. And using this here toggle, I can toggle downward, notch little pieces out of the metal. You can cut up to any lines that you've drawn on your metal. Either for intricate parts or parts that you just need to notch really fast so you don't have to go use a plasma or something more difficult, or like such as an oxyacetylene torch. This is probably the most simple tool out of all of them, and when you notch something, the scraps fall into here, so make sure to occasionally check, make sure the scrap bin is not full so you could use it.
Now, things to remember on this piranha unit are to always make sure your guards are down, that nothing is blocking any of your other equipment, and that there is nothing rusting on the piranha. And always remember that this thing needs to be greased and lubricated on a periodic basis, which can be found in the instructions manual. And we're clear!